So yesterday we got the massive announcement that we will be getting a brand new Splatoon spin-off for Switch 2 called Splatoon Raiders. So far we've gotten a teaser trailer which actually reveals a lot of really interesting details about what this new DLC will entail. It doesn't give everything away just yet, but it's definitely worth going through and seeing every little detail that you might have missed, so that's exactly what I'm going to be doing here in this video. Starting us off, we know that the trio of Deep Cut are the main characters, and they are heading to something called the Spiralite Islands. Now, of course, this is a slight pun. It feels like Spiral, spin-off. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they're going for here, although I'm sure it'll have some relevance in the actual game too. But it's interesting because it was rumored for a long time that a new Splatoon project was in the works that was called Project Spiral. So that very much seems like it was this now, and it wasn't Splatoon 4, it was this spin-off game. So that's just a really cool little detail that you might not have noticed. We also see the characters looking at this page in a book, and it does have some of the characters and I believe a location from Splatoon 3 as well. I'm pretty sure that's Splatsville at the top, so they're reading an article from there. This appears to be the opening cutscene of the game, and we see an odd glowing light appear, which sends the helicopter they're in off course, spiraling, once again, to the ground where they effectively crash land, stranding them on this new island. We get some absolutely beautiful visual shots of some of the main locations of the game. For example, there is this ship barge which appears to sort of be our home base on the island, or at least where the characters tend to relax. For example, we can see all three of the characters with fishing gear. Shiva seems to be promoted quite a lot with her fishing rod throughout this, which definitely makes sense given the fact that, you know, she is into sharks and such. So yeah, it's really cool. We also get some new outfits and looks for the characters as well, which is really neat. We can see Shiva with her fishing rod once again. We've got Big Man in this sort of tactical vest with a little microphone and headset and such, and a walkie-talkie. And then Fry in a more sort of relaxed look, at least that's what I'm getting from that. So maybe we'll be able to see these characters kind of relaxing and chilling in this particular area. Now, the main protagonist of this spin-off is a brand new character. They're an expert mechanic with a mysterious background, says Nintendo. Their ink tank and walking robot look rather intriguing, wouldn't you say? So yeah, this is not an agent from the past, this is a new character, a mechanic. I guess they're going along for the ride to help them out. The gameplay here, it looks very similar to what we're used to from Splatoon, with us being able to go in and out of ink form and such. But the character definitely has a very unique look compared to what we've seen before. And there are also some new customization elements, although it's unknown whether we will be able to customize this character or not. But for example, this character does actually have freckles, something that was rumored to come to Splatoon 3 for the longest time, but we never got. So it's cool that that is finally being used here, and I could definitely see that being used in Splatoon 4 in the future, which would be really, really neat. The character's hairstyle also looks completely unique to me, at least I don't recognize that from Splatoon 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it just does seem like it is a new one. Also, behind the main character in this shot, we can see something that looks like maybe a sort of makeshift campsite, or it could even be parts of the helicopter that have been downed, to be honest with you. I'm not entirely sure, but there is definitely something going on back there on the beach. And I can imagine that's probably where they first land before they get all set up and such on the island with their barge. It looks like you've got a robot companion that you can explore with this time around, which is really cool. I reckon the gameplay of this will be pretty similar to what we got with the Pearl Bot back in Splatoon Side Order DLC. It's really unknown exactly what this robot will be able to do, but I'm definitely excited to find out because I feel like there's a lot of potential for what we could see. I really loved the Pearl Bot as well, and some of those features were incredibly cool, so I definitely wouldn't mind if some of the elements from Side Order made it into this game. That would be interesting. There's actually a shot later on in the trailer of all the characters looking at that glowing light from earlier, and what's really interesting about this is they are holding up what I believe to be the pilot of the helicopter, who I also believe is the mechanic, aka the character we play as. So it looks like we get a little bit injured within that crash, which of course makes a lot of sense. Given the fact there is also some fuselage in this scene, I'm guessing this is probably the opening screen before it loads up into the title of Splatoon Raiders. So I think literally a lot of that footage we saw right at the start of this was right at the very beginning of the game, so it doesn't really spoil very much at all. This could still be quite early in development, to be honest. We can also see that our main character has a lot of apparatus on them, which is really interesting. This massive ink tank does make me wonder if it's going to have some sort of unique mechanic or feature that'll be related to how much ink you are storing here. Maybe it could even be related to how much you are able to use the robot or something like that. It just seems like it sticks out way too much just to be the ink tank for your weapon, to be honest with you. It is really huge, and of course it is on the character's back. There's also some other things stuck to them as well. That looks like a little fan, like one of those little desktop fans you can get. And another is like a saucepan that has been closed together. So they really have a whole bunch of really interesting things on them. And I'm so curious to see exactly what it means and why our character is so loaded with things. I also wanted to point out that the island is filled with all of these mysterious statues or towers in the distance. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but you can see them in various different shots throughout the trailer in the distance. It looks like there will be a lot of land to explore on the map, which is so exciting. I know some people are already theorizing that it could potentially be open world. I'm not entirely sure about that yet myself. I don't know if Nintendo would go that direction for this, but hey, anything is possible. Like I said, I think the game is still fairly early on in development, and they're just trying to give us this teaser to sort of bring us forward to the Switch 2 era, I guess, in a way, and get Splatoon fans excited. So yeah, that is everything for now. The trailer really was just a sort of light tease into what we can get for the game, but there are so many questions, and it's honestly so intriguing to think about everything this game could have. We don't have a release date for this game yet, so it's really anyone's guess as to when we'll get this. I could see it being released in time for the holiday season 2025, but I feel like at this point it's more likely we will get it next year in 2026. I don't really mind waiting though. They should definitely take their time and really cook with this one. I can't wait to get our first Splatoon spin-off. So let me know your thoughts about everything down in the comment section below. What are some things you've noticed that intrigue you in the trailer? If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Splat Gang so I know you did. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more.